Hello, everyone. You will be completing the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator today. It's an excellent personality assessment device that will help you find out what careers best match your personality preferences. I'm going to just give you a little bit of background about the assessment. On the Naviance system, it's called the Do What You Are. It's a self-discovery personality type assessment. The official name, as I said, is called the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. When you complete the assessment, the program will generate a report that's going to provide you with important information about your personality characteristics. You're going to learn a lot about yourself, but you're also going to learn a lot about careers. You're going to learn about your personality strengths, and they call it blind spots or weaknesses, and how you negotiate your daily life. There's lots of really good information here about yourself. Give you a brief history about it. It was created by the mother-daughter team of Catherine Briggs and Isabel Briggs Myers, and it's based on the work of the famous psychologist Carl Jung, not Jung, Carl Jung. And what he said, basically, there's 4 dimensions of personality. You have extroversion on one side, introversion on the other, sensing versus intuition, thinking versus feeling, judging versus perceiving. The terms can be misleading. Extroversion and introversion, we typically think of them differently, but this is a different context. So you have to think of some of these terms in a different manner, and that's what we're going to go through here just a little bit. But basically what they're saying here, extroversion, introversion, is where do you focus your energy? Do you get your energy from focusing on the outside world, like people, or are you more of an internal person? It's not typically how we think of someone who's introverted, meaning that they're shy. It's just someone who is more of an internal thinker. Sensing versus intuition is how we gather information in the world. Thinking versus feeling, how we make decisions. And then judging versus perceiving, it's how we decide or how we choose to live our lives. There are a few charts here to help you to get an idea of it. So you'll see here again, extroversion, introversion, and then the sources of energy. Sensing versus intuition, ways of gathering information. Decision making, thinking versus feeling, and then how you relate to the external world, judgment versus perception. There's a couple different charts here that you can look at your own time just to give you a better idea. This is a good one, gives you a little bit more of a description, so if you have to pause it at this time, go ahead and just examine the chart a little bit. I'm going to keep skipping past. Okay, so what the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator is measuring is your personality preferences. You have both dimensions as part of your personality, but you prefer certain aspects over others. An example of this is that you write with your right hand, you prefer to write with your right hand, you're better with your right hand, but you can write with your left hand, or if you're a lefty, just reverse that. The idea is that you have preferences. We all have part of these personalities dimensions with us that we lean in one direction, and the combination of how these dimensions of personality match together make you the wonderful person that you are. I'm going to give you a little bit of description about each one. Again, 4 dimensions of personality, extroversion versus introversion. What does it mean? It's how we focus our attention and what energizes us. Where do we get our energy? How do we relate to the world? A person who is on the extroversion preference side, they seek out other people. They understand why the world. They understand the world by experiencing it. They enjoy interaction. They're naturally pulled to the outside. People that are falling on the introversion scale like to interact with people one-to-one. So it's not that they like to be alone. They just prefer one-to-one interaction. They need time to themselves to recharge. They try to understand the world before they experience it. So there's a difference. Typically, we don't think of introversion and extroversion in those terms. The 4 dimensions of personality, again, sensing and intuition. Sensing is, or rather the differences are, the kind of information we naturally notice or what kind of information do we take in. So people that are sensors take in information through their senses. They pay attention to facts, focus on what actually exists, what they can see. They notice what is right in front of them and rely on what could be measured. They're good at remembering facts, and they're good at what is practical. People who are intuitive or have the N scale in there, intuitive, They're better at recognizing patterns. They read between the lines. They notice the things that aren't said. They perceive relationships better than things, and they focus on what might be, not just the facts. Thinking versus feeling. It's the way that you make decisions. So people that would fall on the thinking scale, they like to make logical decisions, appear to be more analytical, carefully review evidence. People that are on the feeling scale make decisions based on what they feel is right and consider how others will be affected by their decisions. And then we have the judging versus perceiving. How do you prefer to live your life, structured or spontaneous? How do you deal with the world? How do you deal with the world around you? Okay. Judging. People who fall on that side tend to live in an orderly manner. They're happy with when their lives are structured. They like to make decisions. They prefer to regulate or control life. Judges are not necessarily judgmental. They just prefer to have things resolved. So that's, again, a term that you would think of in a different manner, but in this context, the term changes. Perceivers, people who they prefer to be spontaneous or happy when their lives are unstructured. They like to stay open to possibilities. They prefer to understand life rather than control it. Perceivers are not necessarily perceptive. It's that they like to perceive their options. Again, there's an example of how the terms differ. So what you're going to do is when you complete the Do What You Are personality type assessment or the Myers-Briggs type indicator, you are going to have a 4-letter code. For example, my letter code is ENTP. I am an ENTP. This code demonstrates your unique mixture of preferences along the 4 personality dimensions. And there's 16 different personality type combinations. There are some charts on the next couple of pages that I want you to look at. You can pause this at your time. But once you finish reviewing the information, you're going to go to the Family Connections portal and begin the survey. So let me just show you a couple charts. There's all the different personality types, and as I said, I am an ENTP. And then you have a kind of a short description. So a person who is an ISFJ, a huge sense of duty. Okay, that person is introverted, they're sensing, they're feeling, and they're judging. So you'll get a better idea of this once you take the assessment. And here are some other things that you can look at. Again, at your time, take some time to look at that. So now we're going into the Naviance. How exactly will you do this? You're going to go to connection.naviance.com and you're going to do /LebanonSHS. Remember, guys, you got to do the SHS because if not, you're going to end up at a school somewhere else and you won't be able to log in. You put in your regular account here and you put in your regular password. So you get to the main screen. You're going to click on About Me, and then you're going to click on Do What You Are. Once you've clicked on Do What You Are, it's going to say Let's Begin, and you begin the assessment. When the assessment's done, you're going to have your personality type here, and you're going to have a page or two of a description. The pages of the descriptions are excellent. You guys are going to learn a lot about yourselves, and I think you're going to shake your head saying, yeah, that's exactly the kind of person I am. It's a really good assessment. From that assessment, you'll also be able to pair your personality types with matching careers and occupations. And that's the whole idea of this, helping you guys find out what it is you want to do when you graduate. So you have a career cluster here, you have occupations, you also have college majors. To explore the careers more, you have the job descriptions, you can see similar careers, and you can, again, research college majors. If you like these, you add them to your list of careers, or when you go to the list of colleges, you can also add those to your list of colleges that you like. So your assignment is to read and review the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator PowerPoint, which is what we're doing right now, so that's easy. You're going to complete the personality type inventory, which is the Do What You Are, which that's not hard because you're going to be learning stuff about yourself. The next thing is to do, once you have finished the personality type assessments, identify 5 or more careers and that you have an interest, and add these to your list of favorite career clusters, just like I showed you, and then add 5 or more potential colleges to your list. Lastly, you're going to do a journal entry, and it will be, what is it here? You're going to click on About Me. You're going to go to the journal link. Once you've found a link, it's selected a new journal entry, add it in the subject line as personality type assessment reaction, so your reaction to the Myers-Briggs. Share this entry with your counselors, your teachers, and parents, and you're going to write an essay reacting to the results of your personality type. whether you thought it was accurate, whether you thought it was not accurate, or whether you thought it was helpful, or their careers. This helps us help you with the information. Also, remember we have our college fair coming up next Wednesday, so that'll be a great thing for you guys to get prepared for. And that is it. If you have questions, please see Mr. Litka. Thank you, guys. Whoops, not sure what I did there.